Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Swimland Diploma presentation. My name's Mark Cecil, and I'm the CEO of Paul Sadler Swimland. What a year we've had. 2020 has certainly been the most challenging year we've ever faced at Swimland. And going 7 months without being able to teach kids to survive in deep water and gain a skill for life has been terribly difficult for all of our amazing teachers. We are just so glad to be back doing what we love, teaching kids to swim. Now, we had held off for a while on having our diploma night this year, hoping that we'd have an opportunity to get everybody together to celebrate. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, so here we are at our first ever virtual diploma event. We'd like to just recognise all the amazing kids firstly. To achieve the diploma, well, I know the amount of time and the amount of effort that goes into that. It's an incredible achievement, and I think it puts you in the top percentage of people in our country in terms of your aquatic ability. So well done, you should feel very, very proud. A big thanks to all of the parents for supporting the kids and for trusting us and supporting us to see your kids through to their diploma. Without your support, we all wouldn't be here, so thanks a lot. And of course, thank you to our amazing teachers and teams. We are so grateful to have the greatest teachers in the world as part of our team, and we know that they are our business. So thank you for everything you've done to support these kids getting here to achieve their diploma. I'd now like to hand over to Paul Sadler to say a few words.
Hi kids, my name is Paul Sadler, and as the founder of Swimland, there's a few moments that I get to really celebrate, and one of the great moments annually for me is to acknowledge the kids who got their Swimland diploma. When we set out to create the diploma, we looked at every aspect of swimming and we tried to give you a serious challenge. So we had an aerobic swim of 3K. We don't use the charcoal anymore, but we have used two aspects of the charcoal. One is a 200-metre medley with appropriate turns. Another is a testing survival skill to be able to tread water, which I think is one of the great life-saving skills that we can impose on you kids, to tread water for half an hour. What we did was got you to take your skills out of the pool and challenge you by getting you to swim 200 metres in the bay. And for some kids that's seriously challenging because the water's not calm, there's no black line. Some kids get a little bit upset about some seaweed, some kids get upset about seeing a starfish. So for some of you people it's a real challenge, and we've had kids as young as 7 get their diploma, so that puts it into some sort of context. But anyway, it's very, very special to do the survival part, and the remaining part is that we want to test your ability to sprint, so we get you to do 50 metres in under 45 seconds. Parents and kids, you would agree, it's very challenging. We are so proud of our diploma recipients. Swimland is proud of you for getting your diploma. I'm particularly proud of you for getting your diploma, and I know your parents are very proud of you for getting your diploma. Well done, kids. It's a great pleasure of mine to introduce a guy called Ian Pope. Ian Pope is a friend of Swimland, but I'm really proud to say that for most of us, we make a phone call on Christmas Day, and Ian Pope's such a close mate to me that he either rings me or I ring him Christmas morning to just celebrate the year and just express a bit of kinship. Ian's so well credentialed. He's an Australian Olympic coach. I had some proud time around the year 2000 when Sydney had the Olympics, and I know he was a coach at the Sydney Olympics. He's one of the world's most successful swimming coaches. He's created over 70 medalists at Olympics, World Championships or Commonwealth Games, all of the highest order in representing the biggest arena for competitive swimming on this planet. Ian for 10 years was the coach of Victoria, the coach of the year for Victoria, which was always great to celebrate, and he was Australian coach of the year as well. And I'm proud to say that Ian's coached 11 people to break 11 world records. So he's so well credentialed, and kids, we're going to hear some of Ian's wisdom, and I've heard some of his talks before. This is really a special moment for you kids to hear from the great man. Thank you.
Well, thanks Paul for that amazing introduction, and Paul has been a great friend, and we go back to when my children were learning to swim at Paul Sadler, and they're in their 20s now, so a long friendship, and I was so fortunate that I nearly lost my son. We're around a pool area, and just because he'd learned to swim at Paul Sadler, he was dressed and just fell into that moment but was able to keep himself up. So I can encourage any parents out there that learn to swim is just so important. And I've got to say, you young guys, to see you make this diploma of swimming, for some of you at the age of 10 and as young as 7.5, I think that's amazing. I really believe that's amazing to see young people challenge themselves to swim 3 kilometres. I think I could swim 3 kilometres today, so can I just say, well done. That is so incredible. And the thing I love about that is it's a big goal. Like, that is a big distance at any age. And because you've set that goal and then you've challenged yourself, and it's probably through that swim, you know, it's a struggle, but you've pushed yourself and made it. Can I say, that is amazing, you know? And it's so important that we do set goals. I was speaking to a swimmer recently that's going to join Paul Sadler Swimming, and he used to swim with me many years ago, just at that same age, 10 and 11. And he's going to join Paul Sadler because he wants to see if he can make the Olympics again. He's a swimmer by the name of Matt Targett. And I remember at a very early age, he was around 11 years old, and he came with me with his goals, and he'd written down his goals. And his goals was 2 things. He said, I want to go to the Olympics. And then he said, I want to break Alex Popoff's world record. Well, as a coach, you say, well done, son. He's a little skinny little 11-year-old saying, well done. But he set himself this big dream, this big goal that he wanted to go to the Olympics. Well, as years went by, and he's in his 20s, and he's 6'5", and he's built like this, he makes the Olympic team. So he gets that first goal of going to the Olympics. And then I asked him, I was part of the Australian team at that point, I asked him, can you swim the relay? I want you to anchor the relay for Australia. And he said, no, I don't want to do it. He was a bit nervous about that. And so we got him to anchor the relay, and they come away with a medal. And the time he did in his individual swim was faster than that Alex Popoff's world record, that goal he had when he was really young. But you know, the amazing thing is when he got presented that medal, Alex Popoff presented him with that medal. Isn't that amazing? And I can tell you so many stories about young people who have these big dreams, big goals, but they want to challenge themselves. So can I encourage you, whether it be swimming or anything, that you have a big dream? What is that for you? Think about that. Maybe do what Matt Targett did and just write down a goal, a big goal of what you'd like to do in your life. And then if you go after that and get intentional about that, you know, and achieve those things, you can do amazing things in goals. Okay? And then the thing I want to challenge you also is, you know, through sport and through swimming and through life, we have choices. We have choices in swimming training where we push ourselves. We have choices where we can go easy, where we sit in our comfort zone. Can I recommend to you, challenge yourself, get out of your comfort zone. The more you step out of your comfort zone, the faster you progress. You have to ask yourself, am I someone that just sits in my comfort zone and doesn't challenge my body? Because my body will only improve in swimming when I challenge that, when I challenge my body. So can I suggest, when you're in that training, same as when you're doing that big 3K swim, there would have been moments in your mind where you would have said, oh, I want to stop now. But you kept going, you kept challenging yourself, and that was amazing. And the last thing I want to say, I want to encourage you that when you get to those points, like in that 3K swim, where you doubt yourself, that self-doubt is the limiting factor in all things. And it's something we all struggle with, even as a swimming coach. Through my years, I've had little doubts and little thoughts in my mind where I can't do this and I can do that. Let me share a pretty amazing story of a guy called Kieran Perkins. Now, maybe some of the parents can remember Kieran Perkins. But I remember during the 2000 Olympics, we had a camp here in Melbourne. And it was a 2-week camp, so all sort of getting together, getting to know each other a lot better. And Kieran Perkins shared a story one night, and I want to share that with you, because Kieran Perkins, which I was asked to lead this meeting, and there was all these famous swimmers and all these great athletes there, but Kieran shared this. He said, in the 1996 Olympics, he said he'd he just made the final by a 1/10 of a second, this much. But he was 25 metres off the fastest qualifier. He said, during that afternoon, he said, I was getting a massage. He said, I started to doubt myself. He said, I started to think, I can't win this. These guys are 25 metres faster than me. And then he said this. He said, stop. He said, I'm not going to think this way. And he talked about how he shared his story of changing his thinking. He had that doubt. He had that, I don't think I can do this. And then he gets up in the final and said, I am the fastest in the world. I've done the best training I've ever done. He gets up and he wins the 1500 metres by 25 metres. He jumps out, arms in the air, grabs his girlfriend. He was so excited, he won the gold. And I tell you that story because so often you're going to have doubts, whether it be in swimming, whether it be in school, just by our self-talk. But he was able to turn that around. And sometimes when you have those doubts, can I encourage you, just change your thinking. You know, they say now, the studies now, they say that your thoughts can change your DNA. Your thoughts change the chemistry in your body. So, like a lot of us, if you tend to be a little bit negative, a bit hard on yourself, can I say stop, like Kieran Perkins did, and you change that thinking around. If you take those steps, you will get the best out of yourself through your life and through your swimming. So I hope to see you around the swimming pool. Remember those 3 key points. Set a goal, set a big dream. Maybe after today you just write something you want to do in your life. Remember to challenge yourself like you did with your 3-kilometre swim. And remember your thoughts. Take control of them, or they can take control of you. And think big. I wish you all the best.
Well, it's official. You've all got your diploma. Congratulations from all of us. We hope you've enjoyed our virtual diploma presentation. I'd like to say a really great and big thanks to Ian Pope for joining us today.
Oh, thanks, Mark. And yeah, can I just say, maybe someone there might be a future 1500 metre swimmers. We need some more, so keep going with the swimming.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Ian. And again, I'd like to thank Paul for being here today as well.
Good, mate. Yeah. I, in conclusion, feel very humble that you parents, in an environment where I consider brand loyalty a diminishing concept, as opposed to how it might have been from my experience 20 years ago. But I asked Mark about 3 or 4 years ago to look at about 10 kids that had done their diploma to see the longevity, the amount of time you'd been with Swimland to actually get your diploma. And what the average time was 6.5 years. So parents, I think that's extraordinary. I am very humble about the fact that you would choose our brand to have your child go through. We're proud that they got their diploma, but what a great relationship, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. So thanks again for joining us on hopefully our last virtual diploma night. Hopefully we'll be back celebrating together with next year's recipients. And we hope you have a tremendous end to 2020, and we look forward to seeing you around the pool soon. Thanks.